quite a lot is that I hate, if I'm honest, I hate the phrase professional development. Because for me, everything that I see and also happens at the university where I work is that professional development has actually become synonymous with enforced change. It's not professional development anymore, it's those are your targets, this is what you've done, this is what you've got to do. That's not professional development. That's about marching people through a process. So we need to reassess what collaborative and personal growth actually looks like. So that's where we're up to. I hope that's been useful. They're just some of the main websites. The top two are lesson study websites. The top one has all of our conference papers in either Word or PDF version somewhere on there. The Skip one is one we wrote to actually support people doing it. And then the HE Reflections is a new one that I've started doing. It's all about course design and pedagogic literacy. It's not all finished yet, I'm writing it at the moment, it's an ongoing project. My tweet handle, if anybody wants any extra information, if you DM me with your email, you can edit this out, if you can DM me with your email and you're interested, then I can send you copies of our papers, which obviously I'm not allowed to do through copyright issues. So you might want to edit that if you're recording this. And then that's my email if you think I can help in any way. Okay, so I hope that's been useful. I don't know, we're at 5 past almost, but I don't know if we've got time for a question or two, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we've pushed back 5 minutes, but it's the Rick Waters and
Yeah,
Gonna so maybe take one question or something.
Okay. Yeah. Or not.
I just think there's a lot of SLEs in school now. They won't go into another school and like take a lesson with the class. And I'm just thinking about, particularly in our section, where all our children are very vulnerable and they don't cope with somebody different, so they're coming in and teaching a lesson. So I'm just looking at how I'm going to be adapting it in our setting, because actually that in itself would be a huge, huge risk.
So if you've got a group of 3,
yeah,
make sure that it's the teacher of the class out of that 3 that's teaching.
yeah, so but they teach the lesson, but they plan the lesson, and then step away with the colleagues to reflect on it. The colleagues would then say, have you thought about this? So it might be the teacher again who then goes back in, but maybe with a different slant.
Yeah. If you want to keep the same group, yeah, you can do. I mean, when we do it at HE, obviously we don't have repeat lessons.
Yeah.
Because we're just working with one group. So what we'll do is we'll do it once and then say, right, what are the general things that we think we're onto or have learned and we need to carry on developing, and then we'll do it in a different context, but we take those big ideas through. That's the idea of trying to be flexible with it and making it suit your context. Yeah.
Phil, David Weston, I'm in violent agreement with you. I was going to ask about, so the one thing people often talk about lesson study, we sometimes talk about is when you plan the lesson, you then predict what you think students will do, and then when you go in, you then observe, which I know some people do, some people don't do. What are your thoughts on that?
That's what I would do, and you try and watch the kids, but you then try and understand, if they're doing something different, trying to understand why they might be doing something different. It's a prediction, and if it doesn't work and they're doing something different, it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
Yeah.
But I think it's useful because it gives you something to focus on. It gives you something to think about, because obviously in designing the lesson you've predicted that because of a particular thing that you decided to create. What you've got to do is be flexible enough that then if they do something different, you don't automatically see that as being bad. It could be even better. One of the ones that I'm most interested in that we've had is actually a kid who for 2 years has been seen as being a behaviour problem. After one lesson study lesson, they realised he was just really committed and was getting really, really hacked off when you have to stop something without finishing it. And they just turned him around. We've had other issues about kids who have had sort of home problems where they've been seen as being really big problems behaviourally, and incidentally to the lesson study, they've sort of said, well, actually, if you put him with them over there and they do it in that way, and they literally turn them around in a couple of lessons. So it's having a focus, but being happy to take on all the incidental stuff and not say, we're not looking at that, so we won't record it.
Oh, well, I have to stop. Thank you so much.